What does it feel like riding a bike?
What does it feel like? Oh, God, that's a terrible, difficult question.
I probably no longer think about it. It's just breathing.
It feels a little bit like flying sometimes as well when you're going really fast downhill.
I love the fact that when you're riding a bike, you feel part of the place.
Aside from my family, it's probably the most important thing to me in my life.
And there's something beautifully elegant about what is such a simple machine. It's such a simple piece of mechanics.
Bicycles are your very first form of freedom.
You just get it out of the shed, you jump on it and go where you damn well feel like it.
Riding without stabilisers, my dad letting go and falling over. Why is that the case? Why is it lodged up there?
It adds colour and fun to life, I'd say.
Are you quite sure that the junctions that you're building at Great Bar, Castle Bromwich and this one here at Gravelly Hill are going to be capable of coping with the enormous increase in traffic that there will be by the time you've completed the scheme?
Well, this is certainly designed with a reserve capacity. It's designed for the future. It's looking 20 or 30 years ahead.
The government believed that cycling would cease to exist.
The bicycle's dead, everybody wants to have a car, let's plan accordingly.
That's how insignificant they thought cycling was.
So pedestrians were getting catered for, motorists were getting catered for, and cyclists weren't getting catered for.
It was a utopia which was completely inhuman, and it set us all back a generation in Britain.
I am not somebody who has lots of passions and interest in their life, and in the last couple of years I've developed one, and it sort of snuck up on me that I can see the bicycle as a form of transport just for getting about, something for normal people to do in normal clothes every day. And I can see what it does for pollution and for health and for congestion. All plus points. There are no downsides to using bikes as a way of getting around. And I'm mystified as to why we're not using this form of transport more.
Through Cycle City Ambition Grant, you're starting to see some places like the West Midlands, like West Yorkshire, looking at that £10 a head investment year on, year out that you need to see. But at the moment, it's still about grant income. It's still about one-off spending. So it's brilliant that we started that ball rolling. Here in Birmingham, 20 million over a couple of years, that's roughly £10 a head. But it needs to be that ongoing, year on, year out, part of the business as usual transport spend if we're going to get that transformational change.
At the moment, it's being treated as you would a really worthy cause, where you give sometimes very significant chunks of cash, but one-offs that you can walk away from at any point. So I want to see a dedicated fund to make this happen.
And we all look to Holland and Denmark and just long for us to be there. And there must be towns in Britain where it's still very difficult to find a good cycling route. And I just feel, you know, we've got to work harder to give them something.
What people don't realise is they assume that this is more money that's being asked for. It isn't more money, it's an allocation of a fund that already exists, your transport funds. What we're asking for is the equivalent of £10 a head. So it's not £20 a head that the Dutch spend, £10 a head, just consistently. And to put that into context, that's the same price, just under the same price that it's for a whole year, for the whole country, that it's costing us to refurbish a single London tube station.
There's very little choice as to about how you get around, and I find that really fascinating. And it seems to me that we're not operating on a level playing field in the transport arena. If we had more choice, many of us would choose not to use our cars.
I have absolutely no hesitation in saying that certainly you can have my gold medal. I think everything the British team's got, if you could trade all that for our country getting around by bikes for maybe 10 to 20% of the trips that we make, then that would by far be the biggest achievement.